the Lord. Today, the message will be coming from John 1, 45 through 46. And it talks about judging. So I want to talk about, as a subject, judging is not our job. Judging is not our job. It is sad that we can be so judgmental. I don't think we ever realize how often we judge people by what neighborhood they are raised up in. Sometimes we're judged by the size of the house that we live in. Sometimes we're judged about who our parents are or the profession they're in. We're judged by the school we attended or attend. And today we might be judged by the type of church that we go to. Maybe small, or is it a storefront? Or is it a mega church with all the large screens on the walls? Judging is not our job. Philip was excited because he had found the Messiah. And he went off to look for his friend Nathanael. When Philip found Nathanael, he told him, "We have found the very person that Moses and the prophets wrote about. His name is Jesus, the son of Joseph from Nazareth." Philip was so happy to find Jesus. You remember how excited you were when you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. You just couldn't wait to tell somebody or anybody who would listen, and especially your friend. And we just could not keep it to ourselves. That it is, if you really accepted Jesus in your heart. Just couldn't tell it all. And at that time, we didn't have a lot to tell because we didn't know a lot. So we went on and told what we could tell. But we were on cloud 9. Not cloud 9, we were on cloud 10. This is how Philip was. But Nathanael shouted. When he told Nathanael that this Jesus was from Nazareth, Nathanael shouted, "Nazareth? Can anything good come from Nazareth?" But Philip told him, "Just come and see for yourself." Nathanael was sticking his nose up at Jesus, and he probably was shocked, horrified, and repelled because that Jesus was the Messiah. Jesus was not at all what Nathanael was expecting. Jesus wasn't born on the in the right family, didn't come from the right side of town or the tracks. And it is quite clear that Nathanael wasn't a big fan of the people who came from Nazareth. They were beneath Nathanael. Judging is not our job. So I read these verses before, but this time I wondered why Nathanael looked down on Nazareth. So I did some research. Nazareth was southwest of the Sea of Galilee, and a very small community, probably less than 500 people during Jesus' lifetime. And it was located north of Jerusalem, well beyond Samaria. And being so small and not adjacent to major cities, it was the last place one would expect anything interesting to happen. Calling someone a Nazarene would have been like referring to them as a hillbilly. And Nathanael's question is more than a little sarcastic. He assumes that Nazareth could not produce much of any worth, let alone the promised one. Philip's response is not to argue, but simply to invite Nathanael. He already knew that talking about Jesus is nothing like meeting him in person. And Philip's invitation echoes the one Jesus gave to Andrew and John in verse 39. Too many people want God to come to them, usually in some type of miracle or some type of extraordinary message. But knowing Him is as simply as making a decision to draw closer to Him. Judging is not our job. Now, let that sink in for a moment. It is sad to say, but we are just like that sometimes. Jesus was being judged by where he came from, who his parents were, because his father Joseph was a carpenter, so that wasn't such a fabulous career. Yes, Jesus' parents probably were not well bred enough for Nathaniel, or they didn't have the right status in life. Just like some of us are judged by other people. But praise God, it just proves that God can use whomsoever He wants to use, when He wants to use them, how He wants to use them, no matter where they came from, in order to get the work done in His kingdom. That's what it does. See, judging is not our job. So if you or someone else thinks you are not good enough to be used by God, not good enough to be a preacher, not good enough to be a teacher, a doctor or a nurse, a judge or a lawyer, or missionary, or whatever God has laid on your heart to be, just say to them, if God can use anybody, He can use me. To all those skeptics, you will be able to say, just come and see for yourself what the Lord has done for me, what the Lord has done with me and through me. If God can use me, I know He can use you. Amen. So don't give up on God, because He hasn't given up on you. In the book of Numbers, God used a donkey to speak to its master, Balaam. He can use you, and He will, if you will allow Him to. But just remember, judging is not your job. Amen. Amen. Amen.